how does foraging work? A lot of people are asking how does it work and how do you know how much food do you need, when you do caravan. So right now I'm actually here. One second. I'm actually here. I just saved somebody here. And I'm gonna go back to my base over here, right? So I'm gonna reform the caravan over here, right? I'm gonna go back to my base. Now, something you need to notice is that every terrain that I'm gonna go through because of the roadmap, right? It's all the same thing, and it has a year-round. It has 100% berries, as you can see. See, 100% berry. So what it means is that because I'm going through a map, like a road that has a lot of berries, every time I go through a tile, I will be foraging, foraging berries, right? The other thing you need to understand is if you go somewhere else, like over here, see it says agave fruit. So if you go over here, it will be a different type of fruits. All right. If you want to forage this path, you're not going to get a lot of fruits out of it. So you may want to have meals with you or like a pemmican, you know what I mean? So if you don't have that, you'll be in deep trouble. And depends how many people are with you. Do you have what type of animals you have with you? If you have any handicap or anything. So there's a lot of other factors I'll explain to you later. See, there's some places like the desert. Let me see. There are places like see it says 0%. So if you go over here in this area, you will have nothing to forage. So you will be in deep trouble if you don't have any meals or pemmicans or anything to eat. You understand? So you got to be careful what path you're taking. Now over here it says 100% berries. The other thing you need to understand, I'm going to accept. So over here it says 1.6. So I like most of the common pawns, they need 1.6 nutrition per day to survive, right? But I have level 7 skill plant, so I have plus 0.63 foraging, capability. Health is important, so if you have any handicap, with your limbs, you will have less chance to forage as well. So you got to make sure you're healthy. Also, your sight. So if you have bionic eyes, you will have more sight, which will improve your foraging capability when you travel. So that's super important. The final value is 0.63. So what I'm trying to say is that if you have someone who has a high skill level in a plant, like 12, 13, 14, 15, level 15 like that, or even 10 or 11, but I would say level 13, 14, 15, you will be able to forage more. So you'll be able to forage more fruits than you need, which is super good if you have a large caravan so that you can feed everybody without needing any meals. The other thing, see, she's 1.44. That's because she's sick. Like I just rescued her, so she's consuming less and she doesn't have any foraging capability. So now I have 2 days of food. It's in yellow, so by the time I get home I will be like almost out of food. But it's not red. If it's red, it means you're in deep trouble. But if you're yellow, you'll be like in the limit. If it's green, it means that you're okay, technically. Also, make sure that the animals, if you bring animals, make sure they can graze. See the plant, it says the animal can graze food from the environment instead of eating carrot food. So these guys, they can eat food. They're gonna eat food in the terrain before eating food that you bring. So if you bring kibbles, they're not gonna eat kibbles first. They're gonna graze, or maybe vice versa. I'm not sure, but all I know is that if they have plants like this, it's good. So they don't need to eat any meals to survive. Because if you bring like I don't know carnivores, like a pantera or like a warg, okay. So the warg. So if you have warg, I don't think they graze. So if you're bringing carnivores, you may need meals to sustain them during your travel. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like you see, if it's yellow, it means like you are on the limit. So I'm lucky that I can actually go back home. Another thing you can do if you want is to rest. So if you rest like this, you're gonna be foraging 25.2 berries per day, right? So you're foraging more, you're resting, there's also the eating speed. Yeah. So if your pawn has the gourmand, so if you have gourmand trait, which means they are twice as hungry, they're gonna eat more berries and more forage. So even if you forage a lot, bear in mind that if they have that trait, you're gonna be out of food in no time, because they eat double ration. But me, I don't have the issue, so I have psychopath and fast learner. And her, what do I have? Slowpoke. is always falling behind the group whenever she goes anywhere. That is funny. So that reminds me of someone. No, I'm just joking. But anyway, what I'm saying, if they have gourmand, you will be. You have to understand that they will eat more, and that will have an impact on the amount of foraging that you do, and the amount of food that you eat per day if you're traveling. That's what I'm saying. So right now, I'm going back home. Hopefully, they're gonna be okay. So now I'm foraging 18.2 because she healed. Because the thing is that she was, she was like, well, she is still heal. She's still healing, but she was like injured. But because now she can walk, because when you travel, while you travel, they are kind of healing, right? And now they can actually help me foraging. So 18.3 berries per day, 0.9 food. Okay, I think I'm gonna be in the red very soon. Let's double check that. Alright, so let's see how it is. So I have 1 day of food. Okay, so as I go over here, as you can see, I always have 1 day of food. 0.3. Like I said, I may succeed if I'm lucky. But like I said, it's better to bring pemmicans and some meals. Pemmican is the best, by the way, because they don't perish too fast. Because simple meals or any kind of meal, they perish very fast. So it's highly recommended to have pemmicans with you if you don't have someone who has a high level in planting for better foraging, that is. Oh, and you got to make sure also that in your food over here, all right, this is super mega important. You got to make sure that in food, raw food, vegetarian, berries check mark. You want berry to be check mark. I check mark this agave fruit, corn, potatoes, rice. Also unfertilized eggs, chocolate, pemmican. So you want to make sure you have pemmican. You can also choose kibbles, but humans don't like it apparently. So I mean, I go with pemmican only, and that's it. You can choose anything else if you want to, but and there we go. Success. There they are. There they are.